Okay, everybody, I am so excited today because I get to talk to April Bowlby, a.k.a. Rita Farr, a.k.a. Gertrude Cromp, a.k.a. Miss Goopy, a.k.a. Elastigirl, a.k.a. Elasta-Woman. April, how are you doing today?
Oh, after that introduction, I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
It's exciting because you're actually the first superhero I've gotten to interview, so I was thrilled that it was you. I've just recently dipped into Doom Patrol, and I binged it the past 2 weeks. I fell in love with your performance, so this is really exciting for me. The thing that really...
Oh, man.
Yeah, and, I was wondering, when you take on a superhero role, and there's pressures that come with that, and getting it right the first time, and that's what impressed me about the whole show, and including your portrayal of Elasti-Woman, is that you guys got it right on the first notes. So can you just talk to me about the process preparing for that to make sure, was there any portrayals in other media, in TV or film or movies that kind of inspired your portrayal of Rita Farr?
Yeah, for sure. Look, we got a very exciting treat, which we got to do Doom Patrol, which has never been done before. So went immediately to the Silver Age comic books, which is the original Doom Patrol, and then got word that we were focusing more on the Grant Morrison version of the comic book. So went to there and, spoke with Jeremy Carver about the character and that she's this narcissistic, Hollywood star, but really what she is a broken human being. And that really informed the character and how to play it. And then from there, getting the bones of, the human condition inside of Rita and why she's so broken and why she's so, hurtful to other people to protect herself. And then I watched, to get the behavior and the mannerisms, a bunch of old movies, like with Bette Davis. And, I watched Sunset Boulevard. I watched a lot of Twilight Zone, kind of inform her movements and her voice and the cadence in which she speaks.
So that's interesting, too, because I noticed there's a little bit of a mid-Atlantic accent going on here, and you do it really well.
Yeah.
And I wonder, do you stay in that on set? Is there method acting to this, or are you able to knock in and out of that accent?
That's a great question. I am able to knock in and out of it pretty quickly, but boy, if I didn't, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I had to know if you're just walking around talking like that the whole time.
Right, exactly.
So interesting you talk about, too, because I think what people love about Rita is her character arc from the beginning of season 1 to midway through season 2, which we've seen, and that you see she's so unlikable by not wanting an amputee camera operator on her set, and then to come full circle where she's literally saving Larry's great-grandson this season, putting her back in front of him, and you're just amazed how far she's come and how much she's one of the most likable characters ever on screen now. So I wonder that for you, when you're in episode 6 now, your character of Rita, goes to this community theater and she meets Isabella, who's playing her in the play, and she says all this nasty stuff about her as the backstory for her, needy, attention-seeking, wants her mother's acceptance, she's hideous inside out. Did you, as an actress, as April, do a kind of backstory for Rita like Isabella was saying, if that makes any sense to you?
Yes. I think throughout the 2 seasons, I've been lucky enough to be informed every episode more and more of Rita's backstory. So when Isabella is repeating it really is because of Rita's very colorful history that I can place the images in which she's saying into my performance, because that she essentially is repeating Rita's backstory, which is what's so disturbing about that scene, that there's this little bratty actress telling Rita who she is, and she's right. And that's why at the end she's looking for answers, and she's like, well, who am I? Who am I supposed to be? And then, of course, that's the comedy comes in, and she's like, oh, you're a person who destroys the world. And once again, Rita's heart is broken.
Right. So What do you think, though, where we are in season 2, what do you think Rita's draw at this point was to go audition for this community theater? And kind of, can you elaborate a little bit about, where Larry even is, hinting towards her, where it's not just about the fame for her anymore, and maybe where her mindset is on that with acting?
Yeah, I think that Rita's just looking for purpose. And I think she's finding more confidence. She's getting out of the house this season. She's trying to be of service. even though she doesn't quite know where she belongs yet. So I think it is less about her need to be seen and more that she wants to prove that she's worthy of something, that she deserves to be on stage. She deserves to, she wins this role all on her own without her mother's influence, and that she can, contribute. And I think that's the evolution for Rita this season as well. And being able, to heal through that. So I do think she enjoyed the whatever that is. I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
the light, the limelight in her face. Yeah.
So,
Spotlight. That's the word.
yes, and it's good because it's awesome because it's such a complicated character, and you play all the notes so well, so consistently. And I wonder when Mr. Nobody in particular haunts these different characters of Doom Patrol with things of their past, their skeletons. And what's really good about the show is that, like, you guys are always hinting at things that we as the audience members still don't know. And that includes Rita. And what I'm wondering is, you as the actress, do you even go and read the comics a little more to know some of those answers? Or do you feel like you don't even need to know those things yet when you're portraying her? Or do you know them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I go to the comics to see the base of the storylines, like what kind of world do we live in? What's the craziest thing that can happen to the Doom Patrol? And that helps to, inform the realism of it. And then I think you go into yourself a little bit and just create the world for your wounded character. So, the scripts inform that a lot, which is very helpful. The directors and the cast members too. Like, it's all about their relationship. And I think that's just like the bones of acting, right? Like, who are you in the scene with? What do you want out of the scene? So that's the root, I think, for her.
So you say that too, and it seems like you're hinting at a little bit of, like, just personal parts of it to you as a person. So I wonder how much of April is in Rita Farr. Do you relate at points to the character?
Oh my gosh, yes. 100%. I think Rita is looking for love, and she's trying to prove herself, and she's kind of suffering from imposter syndrome. And I think that on a certain level, everyone experiences that in life, trying to be a part of society, trying to fit in, trying to not mess up, trying to be loved and moving forward with that. So I do feel very much connected to her, because I feel like that is, and everyone somehow has been wronged in their life and has past experiences and traumas that shape them. And I think, what's not more relatable than that?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's really cool to see you pull this off. And what's interesting too about Rita is maybe Crazy Jane gets to play all the different personalities, but I think what a lot of people love watching about your character is all the awesome outfits you get to wear in these 1950s different stylings. So I was wondering, for you as an actress, do you get excited when you meet with the costume designers or what you're going to wear? And do you have say in what maybe you wear for an outfit and maybe how it relates to Rita's character?
Right. Yes, I get so excited. It's so much fun to walk into fittings and see what they pull. And they have racks, racks of okay, in this scene, she's going to wear a flowery dress. And I'm like, ooh, that one. And they're just such stunning pieces that really you can't go wrong. And I think what it comes down to is comfortability or something. If the scene requires that I'm running and we're can we wear flats in this outfit? Okay, let's do that. But yeah, it's such a colorful process, and I feel like it informs, Rita's body language and so much, and her behavior. Like when she gets a scarf, look out, she'll twiddle it,
Sure.
It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm interested to know too. You are a veteran actor. You have been at this, and it shows. So having this be a huge role you land, is there anything in your trajectory as an actress that you feel prepared you for this? That you're okay, now I kind of see what led me to this?
Right. I feel like there's always like little secret notes from the universe that kind of like show that you're on the right path. And I think if you look for them, you'll see them. So there's been lots of fun synchronicities. I feel like life experience in general is very helpful to inform a character, but I do feel like there's like all sorts of little Easter eggs. I don't know. They come and they go quickly, so I can't tell you one specific or another, but I do feel like it's been a lovely journey and it just kind of keeps getting better.
Do you have any advice then for actresses or actors that feel like they've been doing it for a while and haven't landed that big dream role yet? And for you getting it now, like, is there something you can give them for people in the headspace that might feel like just quitting?
Oh, yeah. Don't quit. If you love it, continue. I feel like we as artists have such a important part to play, especially now, that it's really important to be able to embrace the art of acting. So make every role the role. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It doesn't have to mean something. It's the emotional work that you give to it, and I feel like that is our purpose, whether you book the job or not. Like auditions, I go into auditions and I'm like, I did it. Like, whether the job is for me or not, I gave them what was unique to me. So that is a very inspiring thing to walk away with, because it really, it's not about booking. It's about like, how did you serve the role? And then the job is just icing on the cake. So don't quit, because there will always be more opportunities.
I love that. There's many people who just heard that and are getting out of bed and they're ready to go now because of you.
Yay!
And before I let you go, I have to ask, you have this podcast you do, 75 Reads, where you read David Bowie's favorite books to try to understand David Bowie. Can you explain this podcast to me and how it started and like kind of like what goes on?
Oh, man. So my friend Joe Bozarth and I are huge Bowie fans, and we discovered he had a 75 read list. Like, we were like, David Bowie published reading list. And so we were thinking how great it would be to do a podcast, and then just that would give us an excuse to read all 75 books and kind of flirt and, play in the world of Bowie and try to decipher what he learned from the books and where that showed up in his music. So that's what we do. So if you are a book person, it's like a podcast book club. So we just kind of grab a book on the list and then we read it and then we talk about it. And you guys are invited to read them too and talk about it as well.
That's amazing. Everyone listening, check out that podcast, 75 Reads. And of course, while you're at it, if you haven't caught up on Doom Patrol, it is on HBO Max now. And of course, it's on the DC Universe app. It's exciting that it's on HBO now. More people are seeing it. It's getting huge exposure and so many people are loving it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really awesome to watch you as a character. It's such an exciting thing to see. It's an original take on a superhero, and you're absolutely blowing everybody away, including myself. Thank you so much, April, for joining. And I hope to talk to you again soon.
Me too. Thank you so much. Be well.